Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to MashOut here on Mag with your hosts, Mr. Scanador and Wolfclock.
Nicely done.
Thank you. So, Sean,
Yes.
we're starting things off with the EVO 2017 lineup. Go! Fire!
Yeah. A lot of stuff that was pretty expected.
Yeah.
Street Fighter V, both of the Smash games, Tekken, Injustice. Guilty Gear Revelator 2 is in there.
Is that like the most surprising one there?
No, to me, easily the most surprising one was Blaze Blue.
Okay. And that's just because it hasn't been very popular lately.
Yeah, I would say it's hard to say, but it's probably the least popular of the games that's on there.
Yeah.
But and it's 2 anime games.
Yeah, I suppose.
And then KOF 14.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Which we should see... no one I know played.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I was said about Guilty Gear. Like, if everybody who's ever said they played Guilty Gear actually did, it would be a pretty big scene.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, people just lie about playing Guilty Gear all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a Guilty Gear player.
Yeah.
I've put like 5 hours into it. Well, let's go into Smash 4 then. Smash 4 being on Sunday now instead of Saturday, and taking the Melee spot. I, for one, saw this coming. In fact, I think it should have happened last year. They get more viewers.
Did it?
Yeah, and then I believe even they had more entries into that. But I'm excited. I think, going forward, Smash 4 is still growing, whereas Melee, the amount of the new type of players that are going to get into Melee,
Right.
like, is slowing down.
Oh, yeah, it's just, it's like saying I'm going to pick up Super Turbo today.
Right. Right. And then the technology that supports the game, is getting older and older. So
So many SpongeBob CRTs out there.
right.
That will dry up soon.
So I'm really pumped for it to be on the Sunday, or Smash 4 on the Sunday. It deserves it in my mind. It's becoming more and more hype, and it's getting new players every single day that are showing up, shaking up brackets. Now you could argue though that the gods are forming now too, which makes finals more exciting to watch too, because then you kind of have that storyline to expect. And so when things get shaken up from that storyline, that's when the hype starts to build. So.
Well, yeah, for like the first year, that's all anybody talked about is who's going to be the first guy to beat Zero.
Right, yeah, exactly. He was dominant in that for so long, and now we've got arguably Ally and MK Leo, who are better because they've been consistently beating him. And in Genesis 4, biggest tournament in Smash in the past year, both of them placed higher than him. So, now, granted, MK Leo didn't get to fight him in Genesis 4 because he was taken out by the Duck Hunt player, that Japanese Duck Hunt player. Starts with a B. Why can't I think of it? Broke. But MK Leo, tournament before it.
He's beaten him a few times already,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
3-0'd him in the Zero Saga, so. I'm glad that, so there are, back to the point, there are multiple gods to watch. You know, it's not just Zero and Nairo in grand finals. It's going to be MK Leo or Zero or Ally or even Larry Lur. Void's always in the top 8. Mr. R is generally always in the top 8. And any given Sunday in Evo tapes, you know, any of those guys are going to take it. So it's going to be really exciting to watch. You go back to Genesis 4 for Melee, and Armada just destroyed everybody. You know, it didn't even look close in grand finals. So
I mean, I'd seen this thing saying every year that Melee was at Evo. The top 4, it was always Mango, Hungry Box, Armada, and then somebody else. Every single time.
Yeah.
And then that's part of why it's just like, okay, we know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Why does this need to be on finals day?
Yep, exactly. So Smash 4, you know, it's growing, it's unpredictable, and there are new players, and I'm sure someone new is going to show up at Evo and shake up the bracket in ways we'd never imagined. So
who knows? Maybe watching the same turnout every time is exciting for you, but
yeah,
I can see how they wouldn't want that for
Melee players. Oh, sorry.
For viewership.
But no, it's exciting. Now I hope things still go well for the Saturday grand finale games. There was a lot of complaining about how Smash 4's tournament went in EVO last year, so hopefully they cater to everybody, not just FGC.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was Street Fighter V, and then there was everything else.
Yeah, right. Well, and it was a Capcom Cup tournament.
Right, you get 5,000 entrants for one game. That's obviously going to be their baby.
Right.
And it's on ESPN.
Yes.
So, I mean, you know, the Smash 4 players complained a lot last year, but it was every game that was like that.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, there's only one way we're going to find out, and that's to wait for EVO, so. Now, going into the donation drive now, let's go ahead and go to that right here. So what I did was on Generosity, the platform that they're using the voting for and getting all these donations, I just searched for EVO 2017, and here are the current standings. I could even refresh this and maybe we even get a little update here.
Yeah, they had to limit this time what you could vote for or put your money towards, because that's how Melee got in. Is they just let you pick whatever you want, but I think
and then the Melee crowd.
No, I think this My Little Pony game won.
What?
Yeah, there was this My Little Pony fighting game from back in the day. Then it got shut down.
Oh really?
Yeah, and it was like that between that and Melee. I don't remember which one legitimately won, but those two were pretty neck and neck for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they said, okay, you can only vote for these games this time.
Okay. And they're only the 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Pokken right now, 11,000 in second place, and Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom 3 in first place was 15,000. No other games are really close. ARMS I was hopeful for. I really was. But, I mean, you can even see the vast difference of donors. You know, ARMS only has 71, and, you know, there's just a bunch of Nintendo fanboys that are putting like $20 up or something like that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's not over until the 8th. I mean,
yep.
For all we know, Nintendo could come in and just, like, say, nope, ARMS is going to be there.
Oh my god, that would be so awesome. They just throw down 20 grand and like, ARMS.
Yeah, I mean, what's 20 grand in Nintendo?
No, true. Plus, it's all going to charity, so I mean, it would be a good PR stunt too, you know.
Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't be. I mean, it's definitely not over yet.
That would be so awesome, actually. Like, obviously, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 not being in the lineup, kind of doesn't give any of these other games a chance. Just because, in my mind, I thought it was automatically going to be in the lineup because of Infinite, you know,
right.
To hype up Infinite.
Yeah,
so,
and to me, it's just like, this is definitely going to be its last year, one way or the other.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, you know, they're not going to host both games. I mean, they barely feel like they want to do Marvel these days, but I mean, so far it's winning.
Right. Now, Marvel 3 hasn't been patched, right? It hasn't been balanced whatsoever.
No, I mean, it got like one super early because it used to be able to tech grabs at any time.
Okay.
But I think that was it, and that happened maybe 2 weeks in. No, 2 weeks in, sometime in 2011.
Gotcha.
But otherwise, it's been the exact same game ever since.
Yeah. So, you know, a game that doesn't have, you know, online support, good net code, because I've heard bad things about the online play. Yeah. And, you know, that's not... Yeah, it was brought to the PS4, but it wasn't like even remastered or anything like that. Like, so games that don't have that kind of modern support from their developers and publishers, I don't think have a place in esports any longer. Quite honestly, I mean, look at the NFL. Every year, it's getting new changes to keep the entertaining value up, you know. That's what esports needs to do as well. That's why publishers that want their games to be competitive, they want them to be entertaining for people to watch people compete in them. They have to continuously buff, nerf, change the rules of the game if necessary, if something isn't entertaining to watch anymore. Not saying that Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 isn't entertaining to watch, because at this time, you know, it is, but there's 0 to deaths, you know. There's the age-old saying, oh, I got hit, I lose, you know.
Yeah, but of all that stuff that's there, I mean, which one would you rather watch?
Of all the games that are on here,
I mean,
honestly, it would be ARMS for me.
I would like to see Super Turbo there, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, that it never really got a giant stage like that before.
Right. Yeah,
I mean,
because that was before this was ever a thing.
So I mean, that would be cool in and of itself, but clearly that's not going to happen.
No, not with that kind of support. Pokken, I think, can be pretty entertaining to watch. I enjoy playing Pokken, and I enjoy watching some Pokken. The Frosty Faustings over the weekend, they had their Pokken tournament, and Grand Finals was actually... It was exciting. There was some hype moments, so I think that's a game that would be entertaining. Possibly even more entertaining than some of the games that are on the actual list. I know nothing of Blaze Blue, and I know nothing of King of Fighters, so I can't say anything about those games. But yeah, I don't know. No, I guess those games, all the games on the list, are probably just as exciting to watch as Pokken. So,
you know, Tekken 7. I mean, it was on arcade last time, but you know, it'll actually get to be on console this time. You know, Injustice 2 will be only out for a couple of months by that time. So,
yeah, those games are gonna be super fresh.
Yeah.
There's a lot of meta to be explored in those games. So. Those will be unpredictable, you know, just as much as Pokken would be. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, if that game is played, who's going to win?
Oh, God, I have no idea.
You know, has it changed, or is it just because it's so old?
A lot of it is because the guys that were really on top back then have moved on to Street Fighter 5.
Sure.
So, right. I mean, I don't know who's still really...
relevant.
Right. Because, I mean, there's definitely a lot of guys that never stopped playing. But, I mean, were, like, Justin and Filipino Champ and Chris G really that good where they could just come back in and win?
Yeah.
That's what Chris G did last year. I mean, he won anyway. But, I mean, I could see him winning again, possibly. King Blue River's team's kind of stupid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, he won 2 years ago and he took second last year. So, I mean, it's a possibility.
Okay, but, is there a storyline that is like technically expected then? It's just those two, maybe another third guy that would possibly win, or?
Well, I mean, it's been pretty... Well, there's never been a repeat winner.
Oh, really?
Right. And
okay.
I know Justin Wong wants to be the first repeat winner if it's back.
Oh,
he
really?
said on Twitter that he will actually practice the game.
And be that winner.
Right.
Sure. Oh, that would be exciting then. Okay, so it looks like it does have a storyline worth watching. All right, then, you know what? It's up to the voters then, you know? Honestly, I'm not going to matter. My opinion, get ARMS in.
Yeah, whatever game is in, I guess, is on finals day.
Because what would you classify ARMS as then? An arena brawler? Like, because, you know, it's not a traditional 2D. It's not a platformer. And it has motion controls. So, you know, what would you categorize that as a fighting game?
Yeah, I don't know if you do. It's like Wii Sports, like the next update to like a Wii Sports game.
Yeah.
It's like to see some random old lady make top 8.
That'd be so great. Someone just trained their grandma.
Yeah.
Since launch.
I mean, who knows how deep that would even be.
Well, apparently on like the videos, they were going into like frame data. They were going into combo schemes and strategies on how to like bait out attacks and things like that. So the developers are treating this as like a future esports game. Like they want it to be a competitive fighting game. And the cool thing about it is it actually requires more physical endurance than a traditional video game, you know?
Yeah.
So there's actually some stamina element.
There's actually some conditioning involved.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. It'll be like ARMS, like esports 2019, and like all the guys competing are like like ripped out with their arms and stuff. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, right now it's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, here's hoping for ARMS. So moving on to, okay, so is there a patch coming then, an update?
It seems like it's just wishful thinking, but people will not stop talking about it, how there needs to be a patch before the Capcom Pro Tour starts.
What are people complaining about most?
Laura,
yeah.
Laura, Urian, Balrog.
Well, I saw something where her EX Lightning is making it so she gets like a bunch of attacks for free, or like a string for free or something.
She's got all kinds of shit. I mean, it's not even like that complicated. It's really just like the way the character is designed. It's like, she just like walks forward and hits you once and then resets you again and then you're stunned. And then once you're stunned, then you just die.
Yeah.
Like you can be winning for 90% of the match and you get hit once and then you could reset into stun and then you're just dead.
Damn. So technically that's 0 to death then.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it might as well be sometimes, but...
Right. I mean, resets do that. I mean, that's what technically they are. To get that, you're probably... What's a reset? A 50-50? 33? 25?
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, it could be like a left-right command grab.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just all kinds of shit.
Oh, man.
Urian's pretty brain dead. Like, he might be the most brain dead character in the game right now.
You just throw out...
Well, it's like...
your Aegis shield? Or?
Well, not even that. It's like EX, I think it's called Chariot Tackle. It's like safe on block. You can do it anytime you want, and he gets in for free, and you can cancel it into Aegis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, crouch medium kicks +2. So, I mean, like, I think he's probably the least of the problems, I guess.
Okay, but he still
would probably use a little bit of
a nerf.
Yeah.
Or I saw a video actually by Cora Gaming, and he was saying that buffs are better always than nerfs. That the only time a nerf should be applied is if it's detrimental to the game, that if it isn't nerf. Do you think buffs would be better than nerfing the characters that are broken right now?
You mean just buffing the bad ones?
Yeah.
I mean, that was what they said,
Right.
back in the day, and that didn't really happen. But
Because instead they nerf, shurikens and technically fireballs.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that crush counter as a mechanic was a nerf to uppercuts, but apparently that wasn't enough for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they were pretty easy to punish to begin with, and now you just, crush counter into whatever the hell you want. And I thought that was enough, because I thought that was kind of the whole point anyway, of the crush counter. But then, there was only like 4 or 5 characters that had invincible uppercuts without meter, but still, they've always had them.
Right, and then those are punishable if you hit them on block, right?
You mean if you block it?
Yeah, if you block, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, like, you've always had all day, but now, like, I thought the crush counter mechanic was in a sense a nerf as it was. I mean, if they're going to nerf it, I could see maybe not being able to do, like, uppercut super anymore. Because that's a little weird. I mean, I'm sure Nikali could do it, but I was going to say, I think he's the only person that had one that didn't really benefit from it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Ryu, Ken, Cammy, they could all just do uppercut into super.
Right.
So, I mean, if you're going to nerf it, I'm just thinking just maybe that.
Not let it cancel into the super.
Right.
Yeah. Or at least maybe like a wake-up one can't cancel into a super.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's a huge swing.
Yeah, if it hits, that's a lot. But
I mean, it's gone now unless you have EX, and then you can't go into super then because you won't have your meter. So, yeah, I guess that's the way they nerf it. If you were to see a buff, though, to kind of even the playing field, what would you do?
I mean, I don't know about like universally. I mean, there's a lot, but I mean, there's stuff like, I think gray damage is a little weird. That's because it's basically chip damage because you're not getting that back.
Right.
It recovers so slow. I mean, I think the game is they just tried, like I said this like during the beta anyways, like it just felt like they were just trying shit. But then they just left it all in the game. But they're trying something different, but.
Yeah. Well, do you think the patch would come before EVO or after EVO?
It would have, I think the first CPT event is final round, which is I think in March maybe.
Okay.
So that's the idea, at least that's like the common thought, is that if they're going to do it, they would do it before the tour starts.
Yeah.
So that it's the same all the way through.
That makes sense. So we could, if they are going to patch it based on feedback, they're going to probably patch it in the next month or two.
Yeah. I mean, they put out this list that everybody thought was like, a next balance update, but it was stuff they forgot to tell us about from the previous update.
Oh,
so
really?
That's just, I don't know.
Capcom?
Yeah, seeing that, just like, yeah, they ain't doing shit.
Right. No. Well, and it's not broken. The game isn't broken.
I mean, I don't mean to make it sound like it's the worst game ever made, but...
Yeah, it's not. It might be a little unbalanced right now, but it could just go back to that, well, you haven't adapted enough to it yet,
I mean, to me, we were kind of talking about this earlier, but to me it's just like, the thing is, if I had to just make it just a simple term, is that the game is just boring. And like, to me the worst thing a fighting game can be is boring.
Yes.
Like, I'd rather be just like a broken mess.
Right.
And it can still be fun.
Yep.
But you can make it as balanced as you want, but if it's boring, then who cares?
Right. Do you think it can be explored more than it has been and what it's been criticized on? This season 2,
Yeah, I'm sure. But I mean, realistically, I don't think anything's going to change.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of anything.
I mean, Capcom won't even tell us what's in the season pass. I mean, they're not really...
Yeah, that's true. New characters could shake things up a bit. And maybe that's what season 2 update is actually massaged for, is for these new characters that are going to be released. Like, oh, okay, you guys only have rock and scissors right now. You don't have paper yet. But we're not going to tell you that because we don't want you to know that we left out the other balance of the game in season 2. Which would be interesting, because then counterpicks would be more of a thing too. You might actually have to learn, maybe, like a heavy character like Yuri and like, you know, a utility character like Ibuki or whatever to actually be consistent.
Yeah, I mean, most Street Fighter players in general, like throughout the years, have always just like, I played this character and that's it.
Right. But I kind of feel like fighting games are moving kind of towards the counterpick type of...
Oh, sure. I mean, counterpicks have always been a thing.
Mm-hmm. But I'm saying, like, to be consistent, you're going to have to know how to counterpick. And you actually have to utilize counterpicks.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen tournament players who, like, will counterpick you with characters they don't know how to play just because it's counterpick.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Yeah, that's not going to work. I mean, you got to at least know all your tools in your tool belt. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they take all the criticism and if maybe players are just hating it because it's changed or hating it because it's not the Street Fighter that they grew up loving, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a game where you're gonna learn a bunch of characters, it's probably this one. I mean, execution-wise, it's probably the easiest one.
Right. Yeah. You're not gonna have to put so many hours into this one as you would to the other games to become competitive.
Right.
So that's, and then, you know, if you make characters actually counter each other, then that's definitely what they're going for, you know? Learn multiple characters in the same amount of time it took you to learn the one character in the past, you know?
Yeah, I think that was their idea anyway, by making it so easy to play.
Yeah.
Say, oh, you'll get everybody to play, but I mean, like, your average guy's just gonna hit buttons anyway,
Right.
no matter how easy or hard it is, so it didn't really do anything. Well, they did get 5,000 people at Evo last year, so I guess...
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the newest Street Fighter, and right now, in the esports fighting game community, if you're going to prove yourself on the main stage that you're the best fighting game player in the world, you do it in Street Fighter. You know, just period. That's just the way it is. There's no way around that. So even if you don't like necessarily everything about the newest iteration...
Yeah, and I mean, like, even like Street Fighter 4, like, the first couple of passes at it weren't very good.
Yeah.
You know, it took them maybe like 3 years before they started to get it right.
Right. And there, by no means is this going to be the last patch, you know?
No.
So the game is far from being its final version. It's super ultra.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, like, and most Street Fighter games are like that.
Yeah.
It takes them a few years to get it right.
Hey, players got to develop the meta. They've got to figure out what's broken, what's unbalanced, because there's no way Capcom could do that in the amount of time that it develops it, because it takes years.
Yeah, it's just a matter of whether or not you're willing to stick it out.
Right. So, who knows? Could be a rough Evo for Street Fighter, but by no means is it going to mean that Street Fighter's done.
Yeah, I just want to know if they're actually going to put out another character or two before Evo, because they've said nothing, absolutely nothing so far.
What if they release all 5 characters before this tour starts?
Yeah, who knows?
Like, right when the Switch drops, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, you got that cute little new Nintendo game, but how about these characters? Maybe.
Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking. Alright, so going back into Nintendo's ball court. But it really has nothing to do with Nintendo. It's just the guys that organize Smash. So, Tantalus, and with a bunch of the other TOs in the Smash Brothers community. Biggest name, of course, is Bear. But there's like Bam on here, Blind, Champ, D1, Zan, Nintendo Dude, you know. Not all those are TOs, but, you know, they have... Their word matters in competitive Smash, you know, because they're all, you know, contribute in one way or another. Sorry, I'm getting this right here. But I really wanted to look at this rule set here. So I'm going to switch on back here, let everyone see it. So, the thing that everyone is getting their panties in a bundle for is the new character, not character, stage selection. So I'm just going to jump right back down there. And here we go. So all these guys recommend the following stage list for competitive Smash in 2017. Now they said, you know, they have a twit long out there which you can go find. Tantalus put that up, and they just go over that, you know, to be more consistent results, a more polished competitive scene with less jank, you know, less opportunity for games to be subjected to like luck, you know, and that kind of stuff. They have eliminated Duck Hunt and Lilac. So, for obvious reasons. Anyone who plays Smash knows why those two stages have finally been banned. I don't even know personally why both of them were included in the competitive list in the first place.
They've had some weird shit on their competitive list, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Halbert, Delfino Plaza, you're right. So, yeah, I guess when Smash 4 was getting started, they wanted it to be as exciting as possible. And what better do that than stages that have crazy mechanics just alongside the characters. So, yeah, I guess I can kind of understand, you know, what they were thinking. But now that we have an established meta and tournaments are a lot more serious than what they were in the beginning of the lifespan, you know, there's got to be less jank. There's got to be more stable stages and arenas for us to do battle in. So I really like this new stage list. Not everyone has my opinion. That's fine. We're all human, but maybe most of us. But what I kind of don't like is the fact that if you ban, so right here, if you read here, Dreamland is treated as Battlefield in the ban phase or the striking phase. So if you strike Battlefield, nope, I don't want you to go on Battlefield for your counter pick, you can also not pick Dreamland. Now, platform-wise, yes, they're the same, essentially. But the top platform is higher in Dreamland than it is in Battlefield slightly, so the blast zone from the top platform to the top of the stage is shorter. And then also, you know, you can get pineappled a lot easier on Dreamland, which is why they named getting pineappled in the first place, because the bottom of Dreamland looks like a pineapple. So Dreamland's own mechanics have coined that term, and that doesn't happen on Battlefield. You always get to ride up the ledge pretty much, unless you are like directly underneath it. That doesn't happen on Dreamland. Not only that, Dreamland has the wispy wind blocks too that you have to be mindful of. Right. If you guys tune into our Smash tournaments on the channel, then you will obviously know that the wind can affect matches. Shout outs to Otis. So, and then the other thing is, you know, you ban Final Destination and all the Omega stages are banned. So, 2 counterpick stages that are in the counterpicks, you know, selection, they just get swept away with a ban of one of the starter stages.
Yeah, I mean, to me the weird thing is they're essentially just saying that there was only 4 stages.
Right, right. It's
and
just
one of them being Omega.
You're right. Yeah, it's just that 2 of those 4 stages have flavors that you can choose from.
Right.
You know, so I understand. It might work. It might not. One of these stages here, the Guar Plains, that's an Omega. Rob, when he Z-drops his gyro, it falls off the stage instead of falling on the lip. So, and that's a big mechanic for Rob players, is to be able to set up that gyro on the lip. So, and then, you know, obviously Diddy uses Z-drops and things like that. So that ledge on that stage specifically is different than Final Destination, you know, completely different. So I really don't think Warplane should be in that Omega list. Honestly, the way I would like to see it, get rid of Final Destination because the screen change. I mean, if you're going to talk about jank, you know.
Yeah, I agree. They need to fix that. I mean, I know Nintendo's not going to, but...
Right. And then just let's play on Palutena's Temple for Final Destination. And then have Willy Castle as a counter pick because it has the walled sides. So then wall jumpers have extra recovery on that stage, which is a good counter pick then for those kind of characters, you know. Maybe Little Mac could actually be viable, you know, with him being able to go to Willy Castle if you don't select it. Suzuka Castle, there's no point for it. So then we have Palutena's Temple, Battlefield, Smashville as starter stages, and then counter picks. You have Town and City, Dreamland 64, and Willy Castle. And no double bans. You know what I mean? If a character does good on Battlefield and Dreamland, that's fine. But there are some characters that are literally better on Dreamland than they are on Battlefield.
Right.
You know? So it's just like, I don't know. So obviously some kinks have to be worked out.
Yeah.
I don't see this as being a final version, but I think it's a great start to 2017. I really do. I think this is going to make tournaments a lot more enjoyable to watch, strictly because Duck Hunt is gone.
Yeah, I mean, if that's all they did was remove Duck Hunt, I'd be okay with that.
Right, yeah, seriously, because Lilat, you know, Lilat has its jank and its recovery problems, but it wasn't, it didn't drag matches out like that.
Yeah, and it wasn't half as bad as people made it sound, in my opinion. I mean, sure, you know, but that's kind of the nature of the game.
Right.
You kill yourself sometimes.
Yeah, right. And like we were discussing before, I've probably killed myself just as many times on the other stages as I have on Lilat, so. But going into some of the other rules, and they changed, they are, Mii fighters are legal, but only the 1-1-1-1. And then the Brawler, Swordsman, and Gunner must use default Mii. So, you know, custom moves are gone, and so many people in the Smash community consider Mii's anything but 1-1-1-1 custom moves. I don't agree with that, but I also wouldn't like the fact if, like, 1-1-1-2 Mii is on there, 1-1-1-3 Mii is on there, like, that would just make that entire process so long. It's just not worth the trouble.
Right.
To, like, the 3 players in the world that it might cater to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, free to Mii's, but only 1-1-1-1-1 style. And then...
I mean, if you're hell-bent on playing a Mii, you probably aren't taking the game that seriously anyway.
Yeah, quite honestly. Quite honestly. Oh, and then so for the new rule... So since there are such little stages, technically 4 stages with the new bands, there is no more rule called, I forget what it's called, oh, they might have took it out. It was, yeah, I think they took it out. But it was, if you won on a stage, then you couldn't go back to it, type of thing. I forget what that's called now. It's just completely lost in my brain. But, so they took that out. So if you win on a stage, you can play on that stage again.
Yeah, I always thought that was a weird rule anyway.
Yeah, me too. I never agreed with it. But, it's a stupid John rule or something like that. I don't know. Either way, so that's the update for the 2007 rule set. I agree with it so much that I switched Thursday Night Smash over to it right away. So if any of you watch Thursday Night Smash, look for that rule set to be implemented. Da-da. So now, a new segment called Dat Dis Tho. Let's get into it right away because I'm excited. because when you showed me this, because I wasn't watching it live, I thought it was the coolest thing. So now I have mad respect for K-Brad. He's one of my favorite Street Fighter players, but
wipes his hands of him, tells him to get.
Oh,
be gone.
Be gone.
Yo, gift that. Clip that on Twitch.
Wow.
Send it. Tweet me that clip.
Away with
The
you.
disrespect.
He
Oh
washed
my
his hands of that man and told him to go home.
But then you know,
Okay. That was awesome. I don't know. I'm a huge fan of disrespecting and taunts in fighting games, and when the emotions are that much and when that much respect is between each other, even if they don't want to admit that they got respect for each other, obviously there's some respect there if you're going to be popping off.
I don't think those two do, though. That's why that happened.
Oh, that could be too.
That goes back a while, actually.
But I thought that was so great. I want more people to start doing that. Do you know anything about why there's such beef between Wolfcron and K-Brad?
I mean, not specifically. I mean, I know most people just think Wolfcron is an asshole.
Yeah.
But.
Well, and I saw on Twitter from someone too that K-Brad talks mad shit about Wolfcron on social media. So.
And I mean, it was the last tournament. I can't remember what the hell it was. But it was only a couple of weeks ago. It was the same thing. K-Brad beat him and basically just refused to even look at him or acknowledge him afterwards.
Oh yeah, didn't give him the handshake.
Yeah. So I mean, this is not a surprise, I guess.
Right. No, that's good. That's good. Get beefy, dudes. Alright, so that covers all the topics that we wanted to share with you today and give our opinions on. Now what we're going to be doing is actually showcasing you a set between us. So are we going to be doing, let's see, I don't even know how much time has gone by, but should we do first to 3 first, or should we go ahead and first to 5?
Yeah, 3 is fine.
First to 3? Okay, great. Street Fighter 5. Ba-da-da! Da-da-da! Alright, sweet. So, I just want everyone at home to realize that this is the first time I've touched Street Fighter in probably a month.
Same. Yeah, and he told me when I got here that we were doing this, so I'm playing on pad.
But yeah, what we want to do is just take a random fighting game and do a first to 3 or first to 5, depending on how fast that game goes through. And, you know, just fucking go at it.
Yeah, one day, maybe if you're lucky, we'll play Hungry Hippos first to 5.
Oh my god, that would be fun. So then you can kind of just see, you know, where your broadcasters are at and the skill level here. And you know what? Since I've been talking about it so much, you know who I need to go with?
Fang.
No! God, no! Fucking Rosh! Oh no, but it's
See, it's been that long.
it has been so long. Oh, but his theme song though. Yeah, I don't have all the. Yeah, next time you'll have to bring your PS4 too, so we get all the fancy costumes and stuff. Guys, I'm a Smash player. I'm sorry, I don't have cool stuff.
Yeah, he didn't steal them from Capcom like a normal person.
I'm summoning a storm.
Here I'm playing on the screen. Actually, look at that though. There really isn't.
It's not that much. Not that much of a delay.
No, I can totally play on this. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, do it. But actually have less info than TV.
Yeah, it's just Make sure to give me tips in the comments, guys. Oh! Alright, Mr. Skenador, up one.
And Bison wins.
This is the first win for player 2.
I love
Round 1.
the audio quality, yeah?
Fight.
In fact, it's probably too loud for us. Oh no, I'll do this after this one. Here. So I'll check the audio.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh,
Wait.
Oh, okay.
And Bison wins.
Okay. Let's see if that how's that sound? Is that quieter?
Yeah, it seems better.
Yeah.
Round 1.
Yeah, that's gotta be. I can actually hear myself talk now, Phantom. So yeah, sorry about killing your earbuds, guys. Oh my god. Okay, Richie, let's take a break here. Let's take a little breather.
Just hide out the tree for a little while.
Round 2. Fight.
Alright, so that's 2.
That was 3.
That was first at 3? Let's go first at 5.
Alright.
Yep. They go so fast. It's not like Smash.
I know.
Oh, I thought that combo. Maybe I did it too slow. Oh. My range perception in this game is not the best. So I will whiff those grabs.
Yeah. It's better to do that than just not try to break it at all.
Oh man. Whew. Oh, come on! Damn it. I tried everything.
I don't even know what I tried to do after this done. I'm just like, nope.
Nope.
Nope. I have all the options in the world.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
chose nothing.
This is the fourth
All
win.
right, one more.
Round 1. Fight.
It is the most feminine jab in the game. Doesn't even want to look at you when he's doing it.
Round 2. Fight.
Yep. Oh, Rashid, what have we done? Kind of panicked at the end there. All right, guys.
And Bison wins.
Thanks for watching me get my ass kicked.
Hopefully that wasn't too ridiculously loud.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
have
At
to
the
go back and
beginning,
look
that
at that.
was, yeah. But, yeah, that was great. Covered some good topics today, and gave you guys some gameplay. We're looking forward to doing that at the end of every episode now. So make sure to throw in some requests too. So if you want us to go at it in a certain game,
Hungry Hippos.
yeah, well, it's got to be something we can compete in 1v1, and preferably on a video game
Okay.
console. but Hungry Hippos is too good to pass up. We'll eventually have to get
Hungry Hippos Revo 2018.
That'd be super great. So yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you enjoyed our content. And we'll see you next week.